Global Water Dances is an event that takes place on 6 continents on a single day. Over 60 cities participate, illuminating water issues through the art of dance. Studies have shown that Global Water Dances deepens an audience's sense of place, strengthens their sense of community, and motivates individuals to change their behavior as stewards of the environment. These community events are free and open to the public. They intend to raise awareness for the need of clean water for everyone, everywhere. Global Water Dances combines kinesthetic learning with place-based education, brings individuals and communities together at outdoor sites, uses participatory art to raise awareness about global and local water issues, helps people to love the earth before asking them to save it.
Global Water Dances addresses our critical water crisis. When we bring the arts in, you start to engage the hearts and minds where science fails to engage. The hands-on nature of people dancing or being in their community is very powerful. The idea that people come out to celebrate their sense of place is critical to get them to engage in looking for solutions, which need to come from the community itself.
Global Water Dances encourages grassroots initiatives, asking each community to pinpoint a water issue that impacts their local environment. Problems include drought, floods, red tides, hydraulic fracturing, desalination discharge, pipelines threatening the groundwater, and destructive runoff. Through innovative instruction and sharing community art, this project develops new thought patterns and reframes essential water issues. Global Water Dances broadens the accessibility of place-based environmental education, developing authentic connections between citizens and their local water resources.
And then I'm going to introduce the steering committee members that are here that actually were the ones who founded, that came up with this beautiful idea of having global water dances more than 10 years ago. So I'm going to start introducing Andrew Kennedy.
Hello, I'm Antje Kennedy. I'm from Germany. I lived in Bremerhaven for the first part of Global Water Dances. I also did one in Bremen and Bremerhaven. And now I live in Berlin, Germany, which is the capital of Germany. But there are lots of global water dances in Germany from the beginning until now. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Anta. And now we have also Karen Bradley here.
Hi, I'm Karen Bradley. I used to live in Washington, D.C., Maryland, and now I live in Nova Scotia, Canada, in a rural community where we've done many global water dances starting in 2011, and many water issues here in Nova Scotia, including too much water today.
Thank you, Karen. And we have Gretchen here too. Unmute yourself, sorry.
Hi, I'm Gretchen Dunn. I live just outside of Washington, D.C. And I'm one of the founders of Global Water Dances. And every time I see those movies, those films of people dancing all around the world, I cry, and I tried not to this time. I didn't want to. This is an incredible and moving and vital project in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Gretchen. We have here also Natasha.
Hi, everyone. My name is Natasha Aladiff-Jones. I was born and raised in New York City in the States. I'm currently living in Switzerland, the two places in the world where the United Nations headquarters are located. It seems very fitting that I've moved from one place to the other, and I'm excited to continue this vital, important work where movement and water, we are water, we are movement. So why not raise awareness through those two medium? Thank you.
Excellent, Natasha. And we have Martha. Yes, Martha. Hello.
Everybody. Natasha was here in New York City with me for many years, and I'm feeling the resonance of having her in Europe, but also the loss of her not being with us here in New York City, where I was so anxious to get Global Water Dances started that we even began in 2010 with some kind of pop-up educational workshops using dance and water awareness around the Hudson River issues, as well as the fact that we as people, as Natasha said, are made of water. We talked about embodiment of water and keeping it clean. Anyway, I am just so happy that all of you are interested and that we have so many countries and places and rural and city joining together in this important endeavor. So thank you all, and thank you to my steering committee. It's been amazing.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm not missing anyone, right? I think, yes, we are all in different places around the world. Well, Mary Lee, I think she's not, she hasn't signed up yet, but she is also a member of the steering committee. Somebody say hi, yes. And well, maybe she will join us later, but yes, she is being also our rock. She started, she was the former artistic director, and I'm learning so much from her and also from all the steering committees. So as I said before, I'm Vania, I'm the artistic director of Global Water Dances right now. And I'm going to go, forward and start on this beautiful World Water Day to tell you a little bit more about Global Water Dances. So I'm going to share now again our presentation. And I didn't say this, but I'm originally from Peru, and I'm living right now in Long Beach, California. All right, so let's move forward. So yes, so what is Global Water Dances? I'm going to go, I know many of you already know about Global Water Dances. I see some familiar faces here and names of our site leaders and choreographers. I really want you to also to share at the end of this presentation, what is your experience. So Global Water Dances is a network of choreographers. Site leaders are dancers, as you can read there. We orchestrate a biennial multinational community event. Are we? Yes, hello? Sorry. And it takes place at different sites. So, and usually the sites are close to water. So that's what we are aiming for, that we can actually make it public to relate to their public spaces and also to their bodies of water on one single day to raise awareness about water and also celebrate water. And yes, so we are basically, as you can see here in this graphic, yes, we do this globally around the world. And what we do advocacy about the environment and how, using what we know, we are dancers, we are movers, so we create different processes to engage people with our art and with our motivation, that is an environment. And so we have, in order to do this, the steering committee, we devised instructors, so it's easier also for both creators, artists, and also for the audience to engage with this process. And we have 4 sections on this event. Usually we start with a ritual, then we have the local dance, the global dance and the participatory dance, that you can see here in the pictures that I'm going to explain later. So how? Yes, our creative process. So the ritual or local dance, those are the two parts that are actually something that our choreographers or site leaders create on their own. So this is the moment when you express what you want to say about this site and what do you want to say about your dance or they dance to reflect the local water issues. So you can see here pictures of Peru, Italy, and also yes, Ghana, Tamale. Then we have our third section, this is the global dance section here. This is a moment where we share with everybody choreography, done by all the performers to the same piece of music. And also it's there is a script that is actually that it was created incorporating Laban and Bartenieff practices. And we're going to talk a little bit more of this later. And a movement choir basically is about moving together, which makes also embody water better and have the sense of community. So as you can see in the pictures here in different places of the world, very far from each other, some of them, we are doing the same movements and offering this as a gift to the community. Yes. And then the fourth section is the participatory dance. So here we extend this to the community. Not only audience members are going to just see the performance and be passive. In this case, they are going to be actively also being part of this performance by moving. So we are going to share 4 simple movements that everybody can do. So this is about inclusion. And we want to engage people of all ages and abilities on this movement. So you can see here examples from Taiwan and from Mexico, how they were sharing these movements and how everybody actually had the opportunity to move as one. And we share also, this is very important to share that not only you are moving with us, but we are moving with everybody else around the world on this global community. All right, so that's what I wanted to say about more or less the structure or what you will expect of an event, a Global Water Dances event. I'm going to now, show this part that is about, actually, yeah, I think Martha is the one who is sharing this part, right? All right, I will give you the mic.
Hi, everybody. It turns out I'm on my phone, so you may hear a little notification buzzes. Apologies for that. So I am delighted to see this slide. As you can imagine, when we first started the work, we didn't know how many people we'd get. So it was wonderful to have 57 locations join us. And as you can see, we have certainly almost tripled since the onset in 2011. We wanted to take this moment today to really ask you all, whether you're new to the process this year or whether you've been doing it for several years, to just look at the map and to notice if you know people in areas where we don't have representation. South America, more in Africa, for instance, in parts of Asia, in Northern Europe, in Alaska, Northern Canada. So just to say that while it can take a long time to get things ready, and we really appreciate those of you that have gotten all your ducks in a row, gotten your park permits or whatever it took to have an outside site-specific performance, great. And if there are a few people that might be ready to still join us this year, or certainly in 2021, we would encourage you to invite people as well. I'm going to be calling a friend in Greenland after this call today. I think we'll have the next slide.
Yes.
So as you can see, we are completely delighted with the diversity. Of course, we were conscious of wanting diversity, but we didn't go out and invite people specifically for diversity. It was literally people from around the world understanding and agreeing with this mission. So the world representation that we have, of course, includes ethnic, racial, as well as physical ability diversity. And we really know that we do a lot in English, but as much as possible, of course, the language of movement is a universal language. And then where possible, we want to really encourage more of our work to come into different languages. So if you want to help with translations and sharing materials you're developing around even what you see from these slides or from your other research, we really want to be more and more language diverse. And of course, I completely love the fact that we are community building, the fact that we were able to choreograph the participatory dance section 3 together using Skype before there was Zoom, and use the dances from people, snippets. People sent us their favorite movements of images of water and water struggle and water issues. And that's how we developed the participatory dance. So we've been able to do community building using the internet, and we appreciate that. And we also really appreciate the community building that happens in relationship to being together dancing with your people in local community. We also value that it's free. And of course, we love it when our dancers can get paid or when at least our expenses get covered. And yet we want audiences to take in this work and really enjoy and learn from it. And of course, the idea that we're all doing this on the same day, building energy around that, but also this synchronicity, the simultaneity, building power. And we're hoping our international press release this year will really help support all of your work, as well as encourage others of you to join us and help us all just feel the potency of the work. So here we are, moving bodies in the public domain as a political statement, and each political statement varies according to where you are in the world. Okay, next slide. And just very briefly, we also are dedicated Laban movement analysts, and the work has been notated. So these are a sample. You don't have to know how to read it, but this is another language. It's a way that we can be universally communicating for those of us that do know how to read movement notation from the work of Laban notation. Thank you.
Excellent. Now I'm going to give the mic to Anja. Thank you, Martha.
Yes, yeah, those notations score was mainly my effort to bring it to that place. But I really am very much for looking for the differences also in the different locations. So that's what I'm going to talk about for a moment. It's really interesting that even in one location in Berlin, which I was not a part of all the time, only as of 2015, that has changed over the years. So the interesting thing about it is that, of course, the group will be different probably every time, even though some members actually have been in all 4 dances that you see here, 11, 13, 15, and 17. But usually there is a fluctuation in group. And that, of course, that if the choreographers will change over that time as well. And the interesting thing about Berlin is that the choreographers actually decided to work together. So there were different set of people always working together, and at least 4, sometimes even 6 different choreographers working on the nearly 1 hour long piece that they actually then usually did. They usually changed their themes over time. They always reevaluated what they had done the last time, and then, you know, took some things that worked very well and changed others. As you can see here, like for example, in 13, they were working on the stairs. They actually also had different starting places, and they all came together in one place. That was one year they did that. But then the next year they decided to all be in one place all the time. So it changes over time. And it's very interesting because it is site specific. And you can see here that it actually is near the main station of Berlin, but it's because it's photographed from different perspectives, you don't see very well that actually it is all the time near the main station, but then again, different places near the main station. So it's very site specific and looking into water issues of that place. So next slide, please. Oh yes, and talking about environmental advocacy, here you can see a word cloud from a survey we did in 2017 where different choreographers wrote about what they were doing. So these are the themes basically that came up. And as you can see, that water is in the middle definitely, but there's a lot of different themes. And it's really important that we embrace all these themes because of course water is something that is moving around the whole planet. And even though it might be something that is happening right near you, it also will affect somebody that is across on the other side of the planet. So in other words, this is really important to think about when you look at the water issue. It is a whole planet issue. That's why it is so important that we think about it globally, but we're acting locally, which is also on here, and that we can only change things locally and through our bodies, through our actions. And so this is really important that the actions speak louder than words, as we say here. The words are speaking, but our main source is the dance. And this is what we saw at the very beginning. So next slide, please. Yes, so here we go. This is basically more or less the same that we've already said, but the real main issue for us is that the body is really a tool for change. So that means that if we don't put our body where we feel our heart is, and especially outside in the public domain, then things will not change. And I think that is really holding true to a lot of different issues, even climate change, of course, all these different issues. But for us, it's dance, and we are dancing out there in public domain for that change in water, so that we really have safe water everywhere. Because we do have to remember that even in the moments that we are sitting here talking to each other, there are people out there dying because of not safe water. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela. So we have a film that we wanted to share with you, but given that it's a little late right now, we're going to just keep this information. You can copy this YouTube link, and also in our webpage we have a direct link to all our YouTube channel videos through our YouTube channel. So this video is very important because actually it says what is the impact of our work and how everybody, some examples of really good work done by local choreographers into actually pinpointing an environmental issue in their location. So I really recommend to see this. It's called The Impact of Dancing for Safe Water. So we're going to, yes, give it to you later. Also here on the chat, we're going to leave it. So I'm going to go on and say, yes, Natasha, please, you have the mic now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Vanya. So tracking progress is really important to us. We have done really amazing, impactful work since the inception of Global Water Dances, and we are hoping and working very hard to continue in this vein and to have even bigger impact. And we know that we can only move forward if we look back. And so in 2017, there were surveys given out to some of the participants. And here is a little bit of data that was collected, some information that allows us to celebrate and learn from what we've done as we try to move forward. We estimate that about 1,200 dancers participated globally, with the majority of the sites including anywhere from 5 to 20 dancers. Next slide, please. And we estimated that 5,000 people participated as audience members, with the majority of sites including anywhere from 11 to 100 audience members. So we're talking about quantity, but obviously we're interested in quality, of course, but getting the message out, including lots of dancers and choreographers and audience members, is one way to get that quality message out. Next slide, please. It's clear that people are moved by their participation. So we have these huge numbers, but an interesting statistic to reflect the quality of that huge quantity is that 90% of audience members said yes when responding to whether or not they would like to participate in 2019. That's a good sign. Next slide, please. Now, beyond participation, we have 600 surveys completed by audience members from 4 continents, indicating that the overwhelming majority of audience members had increased interest in taking action, were more likely to conserve water, and were very importantly building a sense of community by their involvement in global water dances. And it helped to see the site in a new way. So this information tells us numbers, but it also gives us a sense of the meaning of our work. So as you are embarking on your journey, whether or not your sites are, overflowing with many bodies in the space, or if you have a smaller group, the work is the thing. The community building is the thing. The impact is the thing. So try to find this balance between quantity and quality. And we know that you're doing that. So thank you in advance for doing that. So now I'll turn it over to Mary Lee, who's going to pick it up.
Mary Lee, are you there?
No, she's not there yet. So I'm going to turn it back to...
There.
I am here.
Yes, please tell us
Thank you.
where are you calling us from and where,
Yes, my name is Mary Lee Hardenberg, and I'm calling from Minneapolis, and I'm looking out at the Mississippi River as we speak. So I'm just thrilled to be here. I would like to talk about the conclusions of actually the whole piece of global water dances. So first of all, that we invite everybody to come and be with us, and that the audience and the dancers and the choreographers all get to connect their own bodies with the environment and with each other. So that's the huge embodiment piece. And then also Global Water Dances provides an excellent way for choreographers to develop their own art form, while at the same time creating an awareness about water issues, both locally and globally. So at the bottom, we have our wonderful equation, which is global water dances equals participatory art plus environmental activism. I know that we've been talking about the body and the importance of feeling things in the body, but if things don't change in our bodies and in our hearts and in our points of view, then things won't change. I mean, that's where we really need to do our work, is within our own selves and with our own communities locally.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mary Lee. And this is this little thing that we have right now here, and it's about reminder, when is our event taking place. So it will be on June 15, 2019. Here you have our, the ways that you can connect with us if you haven't before. We are on social media and also through our website. That is actually a really good way to connect and to know more about the project. So I'm going to stop sharing this presentation, and I will invite everybody.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
To please turn, if you haven't done this, to put your, instead of, I don't know if you have a speaker view or the other that is the gallery view, there is a little button on the top right of your screen that says gallery view, or is just many squares. And also please turn on your video if you haven't done that before. So, and if you want, you are not, you know, you don't need to do it, but please, yes. Yes, hello, we want to see everybody here. I know sometimes depending on your screen, see, Rachel has so many students there.
We co-choreographed our global water dance, our local, so.
Oh, excellent. That's so great. Excellent. So if you haven't turned on your video, this is your time, because now we're going to share with you the participatory dance. I know that some of you already did it before, because we have been doing this in our meetings that we have done before, like within different small groups, but I would like to actually share this with all the steering committee and with all the choreographers that are here present on this beautiful day, this World Water Day, or night, evening for some of you already. So, yes.
Vanya?
Yes.
Vanya, this is Pamela. My phone went to safe driving mode. Does anybody know how to get it out of it?
Nikki, you know, or no? Safe driving mode?
Oh, let me do leave and see what happens.
No? All right. No?
Go into settings. Go into
Sorry,
settings.
I'm here.
Do it there.
Okay. All right. Good. Yes. If you are seated, you can remain seated, or if you want to stand up, yes, it's okay. So let's do it. So feel just your hands that are, you know, feel that you have actually something in your palms, so you can feel like a little bit of the, imagine water there actually. Yes, articulate your hands, nice. And now we're going to take our hands up and breathe in. Yes, and now taking our hands down, like rippling and exhaling. Yes, now we are going to take our hands towards our body. Yes. And then our hands are going to go front and a little, yes, nice movements, and going around everybody. Yes. Now let's do it all together with a little rhythm. So we're going to go, water goes up and the rain comes down, and splash yourself. And the rain goes out, water goes out, and water goes up, and the rain comes down, and splash your face, and the waves go out. 2 more times on your own language. Yes. Agua goes down, agua va adentro, y olas hacia afuera. That was in Spanish. And then go up one last time, and then down, and in, and out to all the world. Yes. Thank you, everybody. All right, awesome. Now we're going to, yes, thank you, that was amazing. I wish I could hear you too. I forgot to say, unmute yourself. All right, now we're going to go through some questions, or, you know, like if you have any ideas, or sorry, Natasha, you will be the one who will ask for this.
You did just fine. I'll just repeat exactly what you said. Here's an opportunity before we wrap up the webinar to share your questions, ideas, things that you're excited about. Go ahead and write those in the chat bubble. You can find the access to the chat at the bottom of your screen if you move your cursor, or maybe if you touch your screen. So feel free to go ahead. Yep, chat here, like Karen just texted. And then I could read some of those questions out, and some members of the steering committee can offer their insight and their wisdom.
Thank you.
Don't be shy.
And while people are writing or thinking, I'd love to just add that we love dancers and choreographers, but we also need people that are skilled in graphics and marketing and getting the word out and social media and videography and audience building and audiences. So just remembering to invite really everybody into this process as much as you can.
Excellent.
And also I want to give a shout out to Claire, who we love and adore, who's the program manager. Don't see her beautiful face, but we know you're there, and couldn't do this without you. We have a question. Do you know which music will be used for the global dance? Yes, we do. And that music can be found on the Global Water Dances website on the 4 choreographers page. I can't type and talk at the same time. I can do a lot of things. I'm a multitasker, but that I can't do. Maybe someone else from the steering committee could just hop over to the website and type that specific page. That would be great. And that question was, shout out to Louisa Kistmacher. And forgive me if I butcher your names. We have another question from Claire Talonrun. Forgive me. Still working on permit recruiting partners. This timing is okay. Also, does this have to happen at a certain time of the day? So ideally, we would like the events to start at 3 o'clock. But because we are respectful of local constraints, local celebrations, what have you, of course, there is some flexibility on that. In terms of the permit, get your permits, get your permits, get your permits. Get your permits, you need your permits. So for me, I had a really hard time one year in New York City getting a permit, and it meant that I had to change my location because I was able to get a permit at the second location, and it turned out that that was the location that I was supposed to be all along. So just ride the wave of the permit madness and do the best you can, timing, whatever. I mean, get your permit. As long as it takes, that's as long as it takes. And that was, yes. And we have another one from Pamela Woods, her iPhone, not just Pamela Woods, but Pamela Woods' iPhone. Talk please about movement choir. What is it and how you want this year to be different in that respect? Please, someone else on the steering committee tackle that one.
Well, I think I would say something to that. I've researched movement choirs many different ways. And I think that the most important thing about movement choir really is that it's a bottom-up situation. So in other words, if you have a different group, you will have a different dance just from the group, but also each member of the group can bring in their themes, their movement themes. So in other words, it will be slightly different usually every time if you take it from the group. So in other words, yeah, see what you can do and also what the group would like to do. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic, Anja, thank you. From Claire, again, 3 o'clock, which zone? Haha, good question. 3 o'clock in your zone.
Yeah.
So that the idea with that was that there would be a dance at every point of the day rolling across the globe. So 3 o'clock in one time zone, there'd be dancing, and an hour would pass, which would be 3 o'clock in another time zone where there'd be dancing. That was the original idea.
Yes.
Lauren Butler. Oh, that's private. Sorry. She was just telling me. She was just telling me hello.
So yeah, about the 3 p.m. o'clock, and I think it's also, I think I mentioned it this during one of our meetings, that it's really nice also for you to actually tell your dancers and also audience members that once you are done with this global water dance in your zone, that you are actually given with your participatory dance the, you know, the post to another location. So you are dancing at the same time of maybe other locations in your same time zone, but also you are giving this to another location. So it makes, you know, a sense of, oh, now is the time for somebody else. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, Nikki. I see her doing this. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So this is around the world. Yeah. So it's not necessarily at the same time. We don't want people dancing at 3 a.m. Okay. Especially in the South, that is still cold on that, you know, those times. All right. I don't know if we have more questions. Sorry, Natasha.
No, that was a really good answer. So yes, Vanya posted a link to the direct page for choreographers. Just want to invite you to frequent that page often. Even now, I've been doing this for many years, I still benefit from visiting that page. And Vanya posts things, new things on that page. So definitely check that out. And that is where you would find the music.
And also the press release is going to be sent out today on World Water Day. So you go back to that for choreographers page, because we're going to add the link for the press release and you can share that. And also, yes, change it for your own location if you want to actually, you know, do a release about your section, sorry, your action in your location.
And I think our wonderful participants are respecting the time limit because we only have 2 more posts. I just want to remind everyone, if you signed up directly through Eventbrite, is it, Vanya? Make sure to leave your email address so that we can keep in touch with you, support you. And we have the last chat text from Louisa Kistemacher, who says thank you. And I think that's a wonderful way to end. I think we all want to say thank you to all of you for participating, and we accept and say you're welcome to your thank you for us hosting this. This was thrilling and challenging and wonderful. Back to Vanya.
So thank you, everybody. I know we're going to continue hosting more Zoom meetings in the smaller groups, so you can actually, you know, also talk and keep us posted about what you are doing. And it will be more, you know, like very, yeah, 2 ways, because right now I know due to the time limits and also many people logging in, it's a little difficult to talk at the same time. As Marilee said once, we can dance at the same time and still communicate. Oh, no, please, Marilee, say it to you. I really love that you're on mute right now, but yes. Yeah, you're on mute.
Okay,
there.
If everybody is talking together at the same time, it's bedlam. But if everybody's moving together at the same time, there can be harmony.
Yes. So with that, beautiful, yes, beautiful and amazing, yeah, words, we're going to finish this dance. Yes, let's do just one more time before I will end the meeting, just once. Without saying yes. Thank you, and continue inspiring everybody, inspire all the world, and thank you for your work that you are doing locally and it will be seen globally. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.